When did you realize that leverage, not ideas, was your ticket to freedom? Like, and what maybe specific memory anchors you to that belief?
If there is a single human being that could make one decision and negatively impact your life, you don't have leverage. For 95% of people, that's a boss. And if the boss decides that you're not adding value to the company anymore, then you are now unable to feed your family and pay your rent. So in entrepreneurship, it could be a big customer, could be a business partner, could be an investor, could be other people that if they decide something different, your whole world is turned upside down. Leverage is about minimizing the power of those other people, so that eventually, if you actually have ultimate leverage, is that there's not a single one person. There's not a single one person in the world who can make a decision on a whim that stops your ability to cover your bills, build wealth, and feed your family. That's what leverage is.
And it sounds like for you, you're constantly looking for ways to position yourself to have the most leverage possible to make that a reality in all your businesses. And I'm actually curious to know the structure. How do you structure your business opportunities? Because you have dozens of companies that you're part of. Like, what does that structure look like so that you're in a good leveraged position?
Well, I'm in any one business. Of course, I have partners that could have a negative impact on that business, of course. But I have enough sources of income. I have enough businesses where it wouldn't stop my ability to feed my family and pay my bills and build wealth.
So again, history buff here. I'm a big fan of this podcast called Founders. And one of the overarching themes of David's podcast is that focus is like the best entrepreneurs of history did one thing and they did it for a very long time. Mm-hmm. You have seemed to take in a contrarian view on that. You're doing a lot of things, all at once.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? Or do you feel like there's some truth to that? What is your thought on focus?
The beautiful thing about business and the hard part about writing my book was that there's 5 ways to win or 10 ways to win or 1,000 ways to win. And there's an incredible amount of nuance to every single part of business, not just how many businesses to start, but how to hire, how to manage, how to delegate, how to sell, how to make decisions. All this stuff is incredibly nuanced and incredibly difficult. Yeah. 9 out of 10 wealthy people that I know have one business. So I'm an odds player, man. I'm an odds player. So I love those odds. And I would probably recommend that folks start one business. But I found myself in a situation in 2015 where we realized that, hey, this market's only so big. I was moving college kids' boxes at a company called Storage Squad. Our market was only so big. It was never going to be a $10 million revenue business. And it was always going to be high risk. It was always going to be very stressful during the busy seasons. And it could not take us to where we wanted to go. So that's when we took the opportunity to build a self-storage facility. I'm very, very thankful that I got distracted and built that self-storage facility because, again, a couple of years later, it was 80% of my wealth and 20% of my headache. And now it's my main business. Also very thankful I got involved in RE Cost Seg back in 2022. Very thankful I got involved in somewhere.com in 2021. So, and there's a power law. I have 11 companies. We've shut 3 of them down already. 6 of them have a lot of potential and 3 of them are going to be very big. So how do you know what's opportunity is going to be the one to go after? So I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth, but I'll also go back and say that running a holding company is the sexy thing. And it's the in thing right now online. And everybody wants to be a holding company owner, a holding company operator. I have a lot of entrepreneurs reach out to me and their business has never had $100,000 a month of revenue. And they're already talking about holding companies and doing something else. And my advice to them, as you could guess, is pretty clear that you have no business doing that shit. Business is really freaking hard, as you and I both know. Even if you win the game and you get rich doing business, it still will humble you. So, and this is a controversial thing to say, but 70% of people in the world are totally incompetent. They can't make decisions in their own life to stay fit, to stay in good relationships, to have mental health. So like just the fact that 70% of people are totally incompetent makes them disqualified to run a business. But then the rest, your ability to run multiple companies before you've been forged as an operator and you have the capital, you have the network, you have the ability is pretty foolish in my opinion.